Hello, fellow explorers. What are the energies that are coming for you in this coming week? What are the sorts of lessons that you might be asked to integrate, and what are the energies that support you both in the foreground and in the background in making this next week the best week yet? Let's go ahead and jump into this weekly tarot pick a card reading and find out. Hello, fellow explorers. My name is Rita, and welcome to the Mystic Lemur. I am delighted to be your guide through the messages of this reading this week. Welcome to 2020. We are currently in, even though this is a timeless reading, whatever time this message finds you, there may well be some indications as to what your week may have ahead of you. So do please honor your impulse to follow this reading as it finds you. But at the energy of the time of this particular reading, we are into the second week of 2020. Happy New Year to everyone. And we're also looking at the upcoming Cancer full moon in January. It's the 11th of January for those in this Australia, New Zealand area, and then further north, further away from the beginning of that timeline switch. It's going to be back into 10th of January. So this is a full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer, so it will be very impactful for those of you who have prominent Cancer in your chart. I happen to be a Cancer rising, so I will definitely be taking some time out for that one. It's also going to be followed up immediately after on the 13th or the 12th, again, depending on where you are in the world, with this big conjunction of Saturn and Pluto that people have been talking about for quite some time. And Saturn and Pluto can be planets that provide us with a lot of challenge. They're planets that really force us to shed whatever may have followed you into 2020 from 2019, let it go. There's going to be a lot of karma that's going to be coming up. And so this week we very likely will be getting to feel those energies, again, especially if you're someone who's more intuitively inclined, if you feel more intensely the shifting of the moon, and if you happen to have certain placements. So I would recommend looking up a good astrological reading for the other energies around you that you can get further insight into this upcoming conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. And do watch this channel for another reading that might be more directly related to both this upcoming Cancer full moon lunar eclipse and the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. But moving into the week ahead, what are the collective energies we'll do first that are facing the collective conscious? And then we'll dive into a pick a card reading for more targeted messages to different groups. So we'll go ahead and jump into the collective conscious reading right now. So we're asking right now in the week ahead, Spirit guides of those who are watching this message right now, what are the energies that are supporting us in the week ahead? What can we look forward to at the beginning of the week? What are the lessons and blessings, the energies around us in this first part of this upcoming week? We have the Magician. Very interesting. Yes, so Magician is all about being an active and potent agent in creating your own destiny. So at the beginning of the week, we're being asked to step up into bringing together all parts of our being. So our spirit, our physicality, our emotions, and our energy, our mind, all into alignment. And what else is happening for us at the beginning of the week? We have the Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles is about financial abundance and completion of finances. So if you're in a space where you might be concerned about money, or for certain placements in especially Sagittarius in this upcoming Pluto-Saturn conjunction, you're going to be asked to think differently about your finances, very likely. That's what I happen to be experiencing right now as a Sagittarius sun. And this is also about ancestors, so don't be afraid to rely upon your ancestors, so your family, both living and past. If you're connecting that with them as guides, they can help you through coming into this new financial completion of your financial cycle. And again, January is often a lean time for many people, so if you're worried about money, that might be something that there are gifts of the ancestors that are waiting for you to unlock. What is going to be coming for us in the middle of the week with this collective conscious reading? We have the King of Pentacles, more financial abundance, and this is that fatherly energy of being the provider. It could also be indicating that sort of stern, tough love kind of energy here. So we've got lots of physicality, and we got this yellow here, this manipura, this willpower energy. So what we're being asked to do in the middle of the week is very likely to do with stepping up into being that provider for yourself and for your future. Again, we're still in Capricorn season at the time of this reading, so that could also be indicating doing your due diligence, doing your work to make those physical connections and, again, be that provider for yourself and for your family. We also have in the middle of the week 10 of chalices, happy family life. All right, so lots of emotional abundance is here for you to tap into at the middle of the week as well. So at the beginning of the week, we're thinking about tapping into especially our ancestors, our family, our physical abundance. And then towards the middle of the week, we're transitioning that from being the gathering, manifesting this physical space and being that provider to create this happy family life. So looking for harmony in the family and emotional fulfillment. We have this happy couple who is having this romantic moment together. We also have at the end of the week, what's coming for us in the end of the week, we have Nine of Pentacles. Huge amount of physical energy here. So the Nine of Pentacles is, we have this lady here who's looking out over her domain. She's near the completion of this physical cycle, and the nines in the lower arcana suits are also about sort of the collective conscious. So you'll be tapping up from, connecting with these other areas of your physical life through your family, through your emotional connections with your family as well, and bringing this up to more of a broader awareness of the collective conscious, and also looking out into the future. So you might be setting up to plan more for your future towards the end of the week. And what else do we have for us at the end of the week? We have the Empress. Huge amount of productivity in this week. We've got all this pentacle energy, and then the Empress is ruled by Venus, all sorts of loving energy, so reveling in the finer things in life and being very fertile, coming to this great sense of fertility. In this particular card, she looks a bit moody, and she's covered in this red, so again, it's very rooted, it's very grounded. So the red is the color of the Muladhara, the root chakra. So connecting up with this higher sense of sort of like collective conscious energy is looking to the future, planning for the future for physical abundance, but also rooting that in with this Mother Earth Empress energy. So a very nourishing and supporting end of the week while we're coming through this sort of lower, more mundane element of being a father figure in your life, and elevating that from beginning out of the week with our, we're starting out by manifesting, and then we're ending the week by producing that actual manifestation. So we're starting with the intention, and then the intention is coming to fruition towards the end of the week. So a very positive looking reading, looking ahead for us in the collective. So having those messages in our background, this is what the universe is providing for us in this upcoming week. Let's go ahead and jump into those pick a card selections so we can have a bit more targeted messages for particular individuals as they're going forward in the next week. Okay, welcome to our pick a card for our upcoming week. Having looked at that collective energy, we're going to go ahead and have our 3 piles here. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So as a reminder, with these energy forecasts, you are always the author of your own story. So if any of these are not resonating with you, this could be an indication that you have the opportunity to shift something that's not working out well for you. Again, especially with the energy of this reading at this time, we are working up to this full moon, lunar eclipse in Cancer, so releasing energy of the emotions that isn't really working for you. Also, we have this upcoming conjunction of Saturn and Pluto immediately after that. So this energy might be around you, asking you to shed something. And if you're not willing to be a party to this shedding, you might also be asked to have it taken away from you. So how can you step forward with your best foot forward to meet this in your highest vibrational alignment with your inner self, with your highest potential, to get the best outcomes from this upcoming week and to meet it with your best foot forward? So again, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3 to help you situate yourself to accept and to bring forth your intuitive knowing to best receive these messages. Let's first go ahead and settle into our quiet space to allow that inner voice to come forward. Finding our comfortable seated position, either onto a chair or on the floor, anywhere where you can begin to get a sense of rooting into the earth beneath you. Feeling that image of roots shooting out through the feet, through the legs, through the sits bones, diving down deep into the nourishing energy of Mother Earth beneath you, pulling up that nourishment, that support, that love of Mother Earth through those roots, shooting that up through your stacked spine, out through the crown of your head, and shining it out through your heart space as we take our 3 mindful cycles of breath to calm the mind, bringing the mind and the body, the spirit, all into alignment for our inner being to come out. Taking a deep belly breath in on the inhale and exhaling to release. Inhaling big and exhaling to release. One more cycle, big belly breath in. And exhale to release. Honing in on the pile or piles that speak to you this week. If you like another few minutes to really tap into the pile that is speaking to you, you're welcome to pause the video here. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and jump into pile number 1. Okay, so for those of you who selected pile number 1, what are the messages that we can offer to you, group number 1, about how you are showing up in the week ahead? What are the lessons that you might be asked to integrate, supporting energies around you, and your outcomes that you might be facing in the upcoming week? We first have, how are you showing up? We have the High Priestess. Very interesting. So you are in a space where you're being asked to step into your intuitive knowing. And we have the High Priestess here. She's this sort of gateway, this guardian between what is seen, the sort of the mundane reality, and the extraordinary higher levels of reality beyond what we ordinarily see. She's also this space between the yin and the yang, so the divine feminine, divine masculine, sort of the receptive and the agentic. So finding that space to align both of those dualities within yourself through this sort of inner knowing and tapping into the moon. So again, if you're feeling the energies of the moon, you might be really getting activated this week as we're waxing up to that full moon on the 11th. What else do we have for the lessons that you're being asked to integrate this week? Group number 1. Ooh, we have a tower. Okay, so as I mentioned, with this upcoming conjunction of Saturn and Pluto, these are very trying energies for some people, but they're here because they're here to give us that freedom from those things that aren't serving us. So you may be asked to integrate, maybe there was a recent tower moment for you, a recent sudden breakthrough that may have felt quite hard, may have felt a bit catastrophic in its sudden change, but this is again for your higher good. And as we can see in the imagery of this card, there's a lot of green, so leveling up that heart energy, and also it's the firm foundations are here. It's not that the foundation of the tower is poor, it's that the breakthrough is being made at the upper part, so more in your mind. So you might be in a space where you're being asked to look past apparent duality, so black and white thinking, go more into the gray zone, and you can find the breakthrough that this tower moment is pushing you towards through that, looking more into the nuance. What are the energies that support you in the upcoming week? Group number 1, we have the Hermit. So a card ruled by Virgo, taking care of yourself and taking some time for solitude. So again, if you've just had a tower moment, a big shift has happened for you, take some time, come back into yourself, let this inner light guide you, and look to your routines. So make sure that you're eating healthy food, drinking enough clean water, and tea, coffee, certain sodas. They also have hydration value, but there's nothing quite as good as just fresh, clean water. Getting enough sleep, doing gentle exercise. Yoga is always a good way to get back into the body. So making sure that if you're having this space of mental breakthrough, get back into your body. Do something to shake up that energy, let it flow, release the things that are feeling a little bit stagnant, and just coming back into your space of inner knowing, and relying on yourself in this as well. So other people, including myself, may be giving you advice, but your inner being knows what's right for you. So do really rely on that inner light, because that's the energy that's supporting you here, is coming into your own space. Maybe a little bit of hermiting, a little bit of cocooning that's happening right now, so that you can step up into an outcome that's present for you right now in this upcoming week. Group number 1, we have 6 of Swords in reverse. So the 6 of Swords upright is a card that speaks of going from mental turbulence to mental calm, stillness. In reverse, this may indicate that you are feeling like you had a lot of calm, and now with this tower moment, it's feeling a bit turbulent. So this could be an indication that the outcome that you are experiencing is you're sort of resisting surrender in some sense. So with this moving from turbulence to calm, you might be being asked to release your attempt to control this boat, right? Like that might be the breakthrough that you're being asked to accept, is that you are ultimately, the author of your story, but you're not always the one who's in control of every facet of it. The universe is also here to meet you halfway, and so let it meet you with a little bit more surrender. Is the outcome you have in this current path for this week, maybe stepping into a bit of turbulence. So what can we offer you, group number 1, to help you step into this week with your highest potential, your best outcomes? So what can we offer you for how you can step in? Strength, yep. So rely upon your strength. So it could be that your strength, as it's coming up under this High Priestess, it could be that your strength is in your intuition, and maybe you're not trusting it quite enough. Also, knowing that anything that could be involved with this tower moment is for your higher good, and it is for you to be tapping into the strength that you have. So it could be that you are being asked to acknowledge that you have more strength than you've given yourself credit for. So really valuing what you do have and the strengths that you do have. And I also want to point out to you, group number 1, we have a lot of major arcana coming up for you in this week. So this is a big week. This is a big week, and it's stepping up into a big year. Again, in the collective conscious, lots of positivity and bringing into physical reality a lot of blessings. But in order to get those blessings, sometimes things have to be removed. In this week, it might feel like things are being removed, but the way that you get through it is tapping into your intuition, tapping into that space between the duality, looking a bit more at the nuance, the gray zone, cocooning yourself a little bit, and coming into your inner strength. So what are the clarifications on the lessons that you're being asked to learn this week, group number 1? We have 3 of Chalices in reverse. So the 3 of Chalices, or 3 of Cups, is all about meaningful and intimate relationships, friendships, so really authentic friendships. If it's coming up in reverse, this might indicate that you are feeling a bit disconnected, or the lessons that you're being asked to learn are less in relying on your friends to be the one who are filling in this strength for you and stepping into your inner strength. So it could be another part of how you're being asked to learn this lesson is relying more upon yourself and less upon having the community around you be your legs. So grow your own legs, grow your own roots, so that you can feed that back into the community, so that you can be that source of strength for the community, because you're tapped in and you're rooted in yourself. So you don't need anyone else to be your rock. You can be your own rock. And also, again, listening to your inner being. It could be that you're getting advice from people who mean well, but they don't actually have your highest good in mind for various reasons. So listening only to those friends who are actually serving you. We also have, for clarification of energies that support you, 10 of Cups in reverse. So this is a card that came up upright in the collective reading, but if it's coming up in reverse for the energies at play here, so this could be an indication of your spirit team, again, is coming up for you to give you some this emotional fulfillment. Or a part of this breakthrough that you might be asked to look to is to find that emotional fulfillment through your meaningful family connections. So a card in reverse could be an indication that there's a breakthrough to be had. So it could be that the breakthroughs that you need are finding the friends and the family connections, the romantic connections that actually nourish your soul. So maybe stepping away from those people who have been drawing down your energy and making you more inclined to see in black and white rather than in that nuance. So having this space of solitude and really coming into your silence. Coming into the silence of your mind to let the true connections that are serving you step forward. And we have the other outcomes that you can expect if you're able to raise that vibration and keep yourself as high vibrational as possible. In this week we have Seven of Swords. Very interesting. So this could be an indication that an outcome for you is if there's been someone in your community or in your family, your group of friends, who has been not dealing with you in the most ethical way, the outcome of your ability to step back, look a little bit more at the nuance, you can see what this energy that isn't supporting you is, and you can be able to step away from it. Seven of Swords coming up here is a card that indicates deception, but also strategy. So it could be that this also will give you some insight if you are in a space where you're trying to plan forward for the rest of your year, give you more insight into the right strategy for you. Again, I'm getting like someone in your group, in your family, in your close-knit community hasn't been serving you, and being able to, and that's giving you this sort of tower moment. So you're being asked to look things a little bit more closely, look with a little bit more nuance, step into your inner power, and take some time to really just focus in, pratyahara, withdraw the senses, come into some meditation. Just come into a space of quiet and let the truth bubble up. In the back of the deck energy, sort of energy background supporting you, we have Judgment. Again, lots of major arcana happening in this week for you, group number 1. Judgment is coming to the end of a cycle. So this is number 20. Could very well be a primary card for the entire year. This is, again, 2020 reading at the time, timeless, so whatever energies are calling you to hear this message. But at the time of this reading, we're at the beginning of 2020, which is calling you to acknowledge the higher parts of yourself. So you might be sitting in this space of really being rooted into mundane reality, but you're being asked to look higher to these elevated beings. So this blue angel reminds me of Krishna, who's one of those elevated beings who has like a Christ consciousness energy, asking you to look higher and acknowledge that there's more of you to step into. And so this is the background energy that's supporting you, is developing your discernment. If this is to do with someone who's been deceiving you, learning the lesson that you needed to learn from that, maybe even to the point of being a karmic soul contract with that person or group of people. All right, so group number 1, big stuff happening. Looks like it could be a trying week, but tapping into your inner strength, you can get through this. So what are some additional words of wisdom from the flowers that we can offer to you? Group number 1, we have belladonna. Yeah, silence. Listen more and quiet be. So as I was saying with that hermit energy, let your inner being guide you. Let the sort of loud energies, especially the loud energies that we had through the holidays. Maybe something upset you through the holidays. So just coming back into that space of quiet, inner quiet, even just like going out into a quiet place in the woods if you're able to access some nature, or will indicate this. This is the healing card that we have for you, and it looks quite a lot like, clouds. It's a bright white scenery, and we've got this little mountaintop peeking up into the clouds here. But this also looks to me like snow, so if you're in a place that has snow, maybe taking some walks out into the snow. But yeah, just coming back into that space of quiet so that you can really reconnect with who you really are. And we also have Everlasting Daisy, Fortitude. Be brave and dig deep. Yep, this could be a trying week, but you're supported. Your spirit team is here for you. Look up to them. And just know that sometimes the best way out is through. And you just have to rely on that strength because it's there to support you. You can make it. The only one who can stop you is you. But it will take some bravery. And, you know, speak out. The people who are there for you are there. You just need to be able to discern who they are. And don't let this be a situation that makes you jaded, right? Like, yes, there may have been people who were in your environment to help you learn a lesson, help you make this breakthrough, but there's still others around who, even in spirit, are around to help you. So be able to tap into them if you are feeling shaky, because they're here to support you. You're not alone. You're never alone, but you do need to have a little bit of endurance through this. And we also have Sunflower, Assertiveness. Yep. Rise up and stand stronger and true. So whatever may be revealed to you, if there's some kind of deception in your close circle, stand up for yourself. Don't take it. Don't do anything that you're going to regret. Don't say things out of anger, but withhold your energetic boundaries. You know that you are worth more, so act like it. Don't let them continue to siphon off your energy if it's not serving you. And also, this is a sunflower, which is very associated with the sun. So there is a bright light at the end of this tunnel that you have available to step to. It's just, it may be very hard to see it, especially at the beginning of the week. But again, with the collective conscious energy, there's a lot of positivity around. It's just going to be that you need to look for that nuance to find it. And finally, that words of healing wisdom. So again, that image on that healing wisdom looks a lot like a snowy scene. We have, do something to improve yourself. Any improvement you make will benefit all of humanity. Yeah. So in that hermiting energy that you're being invited to and supported by in this upcoming week, do something to make yourself better. So it could be go to a yoga class, do a meditation, take a walk in the snow, something that will make you feel better about who you are and help you tap into that space of feeling your own worth that will help you through all of this. Because again, with all of this major arcana energy coming up for you, group number 1, whatever is going on for you, it's big. It's probably karmic. It's probably to do with something that will help the entire community around you as you're able to step into your energy, step into your strength. And you could be leveling up into that rock for your community. So instead of relying on everyone else to be your rock, you not only are your own, but you are able to offer that support to someone else through the lessons that you're being asked to learn with the energy of this week reading, group number 1. All right, group number 1, these are the messages I have for you. Stay strong. You got this. You do have what you need to get through this. It just might not feel great in the moment. So do please sing out to your guides, to your spirit team, to those connections who do support and nourish you, and any other sort of professional care that you may be feeling called to tap into. And this is for your greater good. You'll get through this. Stay strong. All right. So those are the messages I have for you, group number 1. And just quickly for group number 1, before we head off to group number 2, quick reminder to please comment below. Let me know how this reading resonated for you. This was really kind of a heavy reading, so I'd really like to know how you're doing. Please let me know how this resonated for you, what you think might be going on, how you are planning to step forward with this. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you really felt this hit your vibe, maybe give it a subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. I would love to see you back here again. Now we're moving on to group number 2. Okay, group number 2. Group number 2. What are the lessons, the energies, and the outcomes that you are supported in for the next week? Group number 2. So first ask, how are you showing up in the week ahead? we have a Knave of Pentacles in reverse. So the Knave of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles, is all about a new direction in your physical reality. Physical abundance, often to do with finances. You can see in the upright position, he's sort of crouched and ready to throw this pentacle disc at us like a frisbee, and he's sort of like pointing towards the future, like he's about to jump into the future. Coming up in reverse, this may be an indication that you have some challenges in how you are thinking about where you're going with your money. You're being maybe asked to take this new direction or have a breakthrough. Cards in reverse can indicate breakthroughs in the way that you're dealing with money. So again, could be wise to look up an astrological reading for the energies of this Pluto and Saturn conjunction, because some have been feeling this in their finances or in their career, in the way that they deal with their physical world. It could also be coming up in your household. So there may be some challenge of this new direction that you might be in the space of blocking at this point. So you need to maybe be shifting your perspective to allow this to happen. So what are the lessons you're being asked to integrate? Group number 2, we have the World in reverse. All right, so the World upright, this is a card that is ruled by Saturn. We are asked to complete the cycle and to bring together all aspects of our being. So this is, we start out in the Fool's journey through the major arcana with the Magician, who is part of the collective conscious reading. And the Magician manifests his reality in a very agentic way by bringing together all of the elements of the world. And so this imagery around the world is that realization of what the Magician started. Coming up in reverse, this could be another indication that maybe you're having a Saturn return, because this is a card that's ruled by Saturn. Could also be an indication that you're being asked to learn how to bring together all of these elements of your being, being asked to make a breakthrough through that. Or could be that you need to step back and develop a little bit more discernment. So another thing that reversed cards could indicate is that you need to take a step back. And the card before this is the Judgment card. So it could be that there's something that needs to be burned away, something that needs to be resolved before you can actually complete this cycle. You might be trying to complete something, but it's not quite ready yet. And you need to look to what the lessons are there to allow this completion to happen in its own good time. Don't try to force it. What are the background energies that are surrounding you right now? Group number 2, we have the Hanged Man. So you're being asked to change your perspective. Yeah. So you might be blocking something that's trying to come forth to you by pushing an ending that isn't quite ready yet. And the way to get through that, the way you are supported in getting through that, is by changing your perspective, looking at things in a new way. And again, this change in perspective for those of you who, especially those who might have a lot of Taurus energy, change is not pleasant. I'm Saturn Sun, so I love change. But others of you, this might be scary, but you're being asked to step bravely into this change in your perspective, because it will help you with this completion that you're trying to accomplish. And what are the outcomes that are looking at you right now? Group number 2, we have 8 of Wands. So you're being asked to expand. Yep. Expand your energy, expand your spirit, level up, expand your awareness. But again, if this is something that is feeling uncomfortable for you right now, it might be that you're trying to make this happen before it's ready, or you're trying to make it happen on terms that aren't quite serving you. So it's like you have a particular very set image of the only way that you will allow it to happen, but the universe is offering you something a little bit different, and you're having trouble accepting it because your expectations are blocking it. So you are being invited to expand through this experience, group number 2. All right, group number 2, what are some pieces of advice we can offer to you to step forward in this upcoming week with your best foot forward? What are some ways that we can advise you to show up into your week? We have the Fool. Yep. The Fool is the beginning of the journey. So you're maybe trying to finish this journey. First, you have to start. Take a leap of faith, and if you're being invited into this change of perspective, do so in a way that is positive. Like the Fool is sort of lackadaisical. He believes that the universe will catch him when he flings himself off this cliff. And do so in a way that is, looking for your best interest at heart. So don't jump before you're ready, but do know that if you're being resistant to this new direction you're being asked to take, you're supported. So if you feel like you're ready to jump, do it. And what are the other lessons or clarifications on the lessons that you can be stepping into to achieve this higher potential for yourself in this week? Wow, yeah, 10 of Swords. Okay, so the 10 of Swords is a card to me that speaks a lot of ego death. So something in your 3D way of looking at the world, your sort of your mundane way of looking at the world, the suit of tens or swords is suit of swords is about the mind, and the 10 is about the manifested reality. So you're too focused on your physical reality right now, and the lesson that you're being asked to learn. This is sort of the minor arcana complement to the Tower, and the Tower also came up for group number 1, so you might want to have a look at that reading as well. This is an indication that the pain of that breakthrough is, you're feeling it right now, but you're sort of, the worst of it is over. There is more to gain, especially if you can step into this Fool energy of just trusting the universe has your back. Letting go of, you don't see how it's coming to you right now. Just know that it's coming. Know that the universe is going to catch you. And trusting that, yes, it's not feeling great right now, but the worst of it is over. So if you're feeling like you're in a long dark night sort of situation, the only way out is through. And what are some additional background energies that are supporting you in achieving your highest outcome for this week? Group number 2, we have the 4 of Pentacles upright. So this, to me, if you're someone who is in more of an intuitive space, this one came up for me personally just a bit earlier. I read this as intuitive writing, or as in free writing. So it could be that your guides are trying to talk to you, and one of the best ways that they can talk to you is through writing it out. Just writing whatever comes to your mind without really evaluating it too much. And if it feels weird, you can even you can burn the paper, or you can delete the document as soon as you're done. But what really was coming through for me earlier was free writing, so that could be something that resonates with you. Additionally, you got this imagery of this fellow here who is, he looks like he's either waiting for a message or just thinking about how he wants to say something. So think carefully about how you say things. That can also be another supporting energy for you. And the sort of traditional Rider-Waite reading for 4 of Pence is also to do with being aware of when you're being sort of miserly with your financial or your physical well-being. So be mindful if you're being greedy. Be aware that you are supported in maintaining your boundaries, but also doing so in a way that continues to be generous, and thinking carefully about what you say, and maybe also letting your guides speak to you through some really undirected writing. Again, different messages for different folks. Take what resonates. And finally, what is the outcome that we can offer you some advice towards what you might experience as your highest outcome, your highest potential for this week? The Magician. All right, so this came up in the collective reading. You are being asked to manifest your reality. Yeah, come into being more aware of how you are creating the world around you. Stepping into this new leap of faith. And again, not trying to complete things before you've even started them. You're asked to take this new direction in your physical space, possibly your financial well-being. So step into doing your money manifestation rituals or any other sort of things. Being aware that you are an active creator in what you are producing. So do so in a way that's mindful. That's sort of the outcome for you here, is to stepping up into this more magician role. And background, back of the deck energy we have for you, group number 1, 5 of Chalices, upright. So the 5 of Chalices is another 5s in the lower arcana or the minor arcana, are cards about challenge. So you're being challenged emotionally, and what you might, you have this man who's looking out over this scene, looks quite wistful, and he's got these 3 empty cups ahead of him. In the Rider-Waite deck, they're spilled. So it's sort of looking back wistfully at the emotional things that they had and are no more. But the background here is that you've still got more behind you. You haven't, in the future, or even in the very near future, almost the present, that are here for you, but you're not looking at them. So look a little bit more closely at the connections you still do have if you felt like you've lost something. because you're still supported. There's still more for you. The things that have fallen away for a reason. They're not serving you anymore. So let them go and step into what's still here to serve you. What are some words of wisdom from the flowers that we can share with you, group number 2? We have Bird of Paradise, self-acceptance. You are so much more. Yes, so as I was saying, part of what this might be offering to you is to be aware of the more that you have to give to this world. The things that maybe you feel like you ran your mouth a little bit, and maybe you destroyed some things that you really valued, but those are all parts of things that you had to learn, and just having that space of being able to really be your authentic self is going to help you get through and become this master manifester that you're being invited to step up into. We also have Camellia, peace. Be calm, and calm will come. Yep. So again, especially if you're sitting in this Ten of Swords space right now, group number 2, or if this Ten of Swords space is coming to you within this week, the best way to step through that is to sit with calm. So equanimity, meeting anything that comes to you, as a knowledge that it's a lesson that you're being asked to learn. It's here to serve you in some way. So having that calm demeanor and that sort of observing things as they rise up, I'm getting here is like shadow work. It's a good time in the winter, if you're in a space of the world that has winter, to allow the shadow to come forward, but meet it with peace and with love. Don't try to go digging into it, because you might get a little bit overwhelmed. But when it comes up, notice those triggers and meet those triggers with peace, because then you can transform them into a higher being and a higher outcome for you. Finally, we have stock. Slow down. Yeah, if you're trying to finish something, pushing it too quickly, take stock. Slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. Right. So this also could be an indication that if you keep pushing without taking this advice, if you're trying to keep pushing this outcome that isn't quite ready yet, you could be stepping into a tower moment. You could be setting yourself up for a lot more pain than you need to experience. So slow down, take a breath. You are being asked to expand, and you are being asked to step into this master manifester, but do so in a way that is more in line with who you really are, and through peace, by taking that leap of faith in positivity rather than just like flinging yourself off the cliff. And then finally, our words of wisdom healing for group number 2. So the back of the card, very beautiful card. We have develop awe and reverence for life. Develop awe and reverence for life. So this could be another invitation to take some time in nature and really cultivating that inner child sense. Like the inner child is so amazed by everything around them. That's part of that fool energy as well. So really being amazed by all of the things that already are in your existence, and just like, how crazy is it that, you put a seed into the ground, you water it a little bit, and then a few weeks later you have this beautiful flower. Like, you didn't have to do any of that. It all just happened because of this beautiful world that we live in. So just cultivating that sense of amazement and the beauty that already surrounds you, and that will help you so much to get through whatever challenges might be facing you through this transition period into 2020 and beyond. And through this next week, whatever energies are meeting you in this next week. So that's what I have for you, group number 2. Please let me know in the comments below how this resonated for you. I'd love to hear. If this hit your vibe, you might like to hit a subscribe. And if this really resonated for you, you might like to, if this really resonated for you, you might also like to give it a like. So anyway, please comment, like, and subscribe. Helps the channel grow immensely. And I look forward to seeing you again. For now, we're going to go ahead and go on to group number 3. Group number 3. What are the energies that are coming towards you in this coming week, and how can you best meet them to create your best outcomes? What are the bits of advice we can offer to you, group number 3, about how you're showing up in this next week? We have 4 of Chalices. All right, this one came up in the collective reading. So you're in a space right now. You might be feeling quite emotionally drained again, right? The timing of this reading, we're just coming out of the winter holiday period in the north for the end of 2019, and that can be a time that's really quite emotionally complex for a lot of people, and so you might be feeling like you really just want to take a break, and you don't quite know where this replenishment is coming from. Well, it's coming from spirit. It's being offered to you. You just sort of need to open up your eyes and accept it. So how are you being asked to learn from this upcoming week, group number 3? We have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 6 of Pentacles upright is all about generosity. And really sharing the wealth. We have this well-dressed man who's sharing with this street angel here. It could also be indicating that there's an extra gift of financial abundance that's awaiting you, but coming up in reverse, this may be indicating that what you're being asked to learn is to make a breakthrough in your generosity. So it could be that maybe you've been depleting yourself. Maybe you spent too much over the holiday, or over the past week. You're feeling really strapped in your financial situation, and you're sort of like you're too much in this space of want. So the card before this, another thing that could be indicating from a reversed card, is that you need to step to a card before it to look at the lesson there. Could be that you've been overexerting yourself financially or physically because you are sitting in a space of feeling scarcity. So the 5 of Pentacles is a card that's a lot about scarcity. So it could be that you're being asked to make a breakthrough in seeing how you use your energies, specifically your physical well-being, your physical existence, through either your actual embodiment or through your money, and be a bit more generous about that. It's a lesson that's being presented to you this week. What are the background energies supporting you this week, group number 3? We have the Knave of Chalices, or the Page of Chalices. So you're being asked, your background energy here is to take a new direction in how you're using your emotions. Yeah. So we got a lot of emotional energy here for you. You might be depleting yourself too much because you're maybe using your generosity in a way that isn't serving you. And so the energies that's supporting you here is to take this into a new direction with how you're really tapping into your emotional knowledge. And finally, what are the outcomes that are presenting themselves to you right now, group number 3? Group number 3, what are your outcomes for you in this upcoming week? We have the Moon. So the Moon is a card that this particular deck is very evocative of being ruled by the Moon, but it's also a card that's ruled by Pisces. So spirituality. We also cosmically, astrologically, are in a space where we're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, meaning that we're going from a time where we're really being tested to integrate all of our lessons and begin to lighten up a bit. So the outcomes that are present for you here are to tap into that emotional, again, like with all this moon energy, we've got this full moon in Cancer, and there's just a ton of Cancer-related, Cancer moon baby, astrological sign related imagery. We got the crab here, we've got this water, we've got the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and we've got this image of Artemis here who's leaping over this crab. So tapping into your intuition and really listening to your emotional body is you're expanding your intuition with this lesson that's being presented to you in this week. And this also could be an indication to you that there's something big you need to release in this upcoming full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. If you're viewing this around the time of this first couple weeks of January 2020. Otherwise, again, whatever the next moon cycle is that you're being presented with in this time of this reading, when you are receiving it, look to the moon, look to your inner intuition and to your cycles. So how can you show up in the next week to make the best outcome for you? Group number 3, we have 9 of Wands. All right, so you've been through a lot. You've been using your energy a lot, but you've become quite strong from that usage. We also have this imagery of this lady dressed in white who's looking to the past. So this could be another indication that the best way you can show up is to purge from yourself. So this white has this energy of purity, of cleansing. So I often get the imagery of like saucha, or practice of mental, physical, spiritual purification. So cleaning up your thoughts, cleaning up your words, cleaning up how you exert your energy. What foods are you putting into your body? How much water are you drinking? Those sorts of things can help you step forward into this week with your best foot forward. And what are the other sort of clarifications on the lessons that you're being asked to integrate? We have the sun. All right, so you're, I'm getting from this that you're being asked to be a beacon of light. So you may want to have a look at the other readings, but the other readings were a bit heavy, and this one is quite a lot lighter. So you have this sort of light at the end of the tunnel that's emerging for you, group number 3. And if you are in a space where you're feeling like you're beginning to make those breakthroughs, the lessons that you're also being asked to learn are to use that to help others shine up as well. And we have, what are the other unseen energies that support you? Group number 3, we have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, yeah, so Queen of Pentacles, hugely nurturing, motherly energy. So if this is resonating for you to be that beacon of light to other people, nourishing yourself and others through this time, because it can be a very trying time for a lot of people. But again, doing it so in a way that you are rethinking the way that you're using your energy. So not depleting yourself, but enlightening other people and elevating other people through how you elevate yourself. And finally, outcomes for you, the best sort of high vibrational outcomes that we can get you to group number 3. If you can elevate that vibration, you have the Knave of Wands. So lots of new directions, energies for you, group number 3. So redirecting your energy, again, in a way that is purifying the things that haven't been working for you, stepping up into being this sort of nurturing figure, helping other people elevate themselves by taking this new direction. The outcome for you will be a new direction in how you're using your energy and your spirit through tapping into your inner knowing and your intuition. All right, so what is this sort of background energy supporting you? The back of the deck energy, we have the Knight of Chalices, right? So make sure that your emotions are serving you. You are being supported in having that filling your cup. So this Knight of Chalices in this deck looks kind of creepy. Kind of reminds me of Scorpio. Could be also an indication that someone in your life is, we got this twins here in this sun, so it could be that you're either dealing with a Gemini or a Scorpio in this week, or you are yourself Gemini or Scorpio, or having a big elevation in those energies. So those could be the energies that are being impacted for you in this Saturn-Pluto conjunction. But maybe diving into that, if the shadow is coming up to you. Scorpio is a lot about diving into the unconscious, subconscious. So if some of that is merging to you to reveal to you these things that are not serving you, sitting with that, it's supporting you to get into this space of being this beacon for other people. All right, so what are the wisdom of the flowers we can offer to you, group number 3? We have Calla Lily, rejuvenation. Reawaken and then stand stronger. Yeah, so wake up. The gifts of spirit are here for you. You are being asked to be replenished, and the replenishment is here for you. You just need to accept it. Open your eyes and see it. All right, so we have Moth Orchid, communication. Listen and speak with greater care, right? So that taps into this 9 of Wands, sort of purifying your thoughts, your words, your actions idea. So be very mindful of how you're speaking, and do so in a way that serves you. So if you are saying yes to things when it really means no, and if you're saying no to things when really what you want is yes, stop doing that. Come into your own truth and speak kindly about those around you and about yourself. So really cleaning up all that emotional energy around you. And finally, we have Jonquille, power. Take hold of what you know is yours, right? Yep. So if you've been exerting yourself, expending yourself, depleting yourself because you're trying to please other people, You don't need to do that. You can be the motherly energy, you can be the nurturer, you can be the beacon of light without depleting yourself. You can do so in a way that also elevates yourself. You can take care of yourself by taking care of other people. And you can take care of other people by taking care of yourself. You don't need to give away everything. You don't need to give away everything in order to have value. You can step into your inner power and trust it. And so here's the healing wisdom card for you, group number 3. We have this lovely imagery of this sort of faux fur, fluffy, white, soft looking, looks like a really fluffy, soft, those like fake fur blankets. They're really cuddly, wonderful. So again, if you're in a place that is in the north and very cold right now, cuddling up with a nice fluffy soft blanket might be a really nice thing to do in the next week. Soften and soften and open back into love all day long. Yeah. So if you're feeling quite depleted, you haven't, you feel like you've overexerted yourself emotionally, maybe you overexerted yourself financially, the way to get through that is to not become tough and jaded, not berate yourself, but you only live once, and if you spent more than you intended to, it's only money, it'll come again. The way that you get that is by keeping yourself in that space of love, keeping yourself oriented in your heart space, even when it feels a little bit uncomfortable. That's going to be the thing that gets you through. All right, group number 3, these are the messages that we have for you this week. Please let me know in the comments down below how this resonated for you. I'd love to hear more about just your general impressions of this reading. What do you think was relevant to you? What do you think what do you think even you disagreed with? And then if this was a video that really kind of resonated with you, you might like to hit the like. And if this was really hitting your vibe, you might also like to hit the subscribe button and maybe in that bell notification, because it really does help this channel grow. And I'm delighted to be able to offer you these messages as your guide. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon, and until that time, as always, go in peace to love and to serve. Namaste.